9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Oh, what a way to end the week, because there's a lot happening. And this is your PR princess, your timeless elite, whatever you want to call me, Stone Cold Courtney, is with you on this Friday edition of WWT Live. I know a lot of us have been very scattered because we all have obligations. You know, it's a busy weekend. And plus, you don't know who's going to come in on WWT Live because we got a lot of bold predictions happening. We got, oh my goodness, from tonight, we have Ring of Honor Supercard tonight. We have AEW All in Texas. We have NXT Great American Bash, and we're ending it with Revolution. But before we even jump into that, we're just going to hop into the SmackDown preview because we have a watch along tonight for Honey Night SmackDown, coming to you live from Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee. And of course, some of the matches that were already confirmed. We have Aleister Black taking on Ron Killings. We're also going to have an appearance from recording artist, award-winning recording artist, Jelly Roll. If you may recognize him because he did the theme song for SummerSlam last year. So he will be pulling up some Music City, USA. You don't know what to expect from him. And we're also going to have a tag team match for the WWE Tag Team Championship match. I don't know why the Street Profits have not been on a PLE yet, but it will be them taking on members of the Wyatt Six. And all this and more, we are going to have our wonderful, my WWT sister, Wrestling with Honey with you, where she will give you all the breakdown and everything else. And this is the final SmackDown before... Oh, and I also forgot too, it's the final SmackDown before Saturday night's main event, before Evolution, everything to get you ready because Atlanta's having a busy weekend. So all of this is happening tonight on Honey Night SmackDown and on USA. And we have a lot. Yeah, you did appear. We have a lot happening tonight. So she will see you guys at 8 p.m. So much is happening. And like I said, you don't even know who is going to appear on WWT Live. And Dylan, I did you a favor because I did the preview tonight. So looking at the chat, hi, Zach Minger. Thank you for joining. Our wonderful producer from the future, Dylan. As you said, you never know who may show up. Guests on. Exactly. You never know who is going to show up. Cousin Ron, happy Friday. Yeah, I mean, we're kicking it. That's pretty much our SmackDown preview. That is happening tonight. So make sure to check out with Honey. It's going to be super fun. And anytime our producer for the future, because as I said, we got a lot of bold predictions. So we're just going to keep the news very light and very brief today. This was actually very interesting to talk about because, as you know, Tiffany Stratton will be facing off against Trish Stratus at Evolution, of course, for the WWE Women's title. And this was actually very interesting. Fightful posted this today where Trish Stratus was talking with Sam Roberts on his podcast that she wishes the build for her match against Tiffany Stratton at Evolution was bigger. She said this in quotes, "Do I wish there was a bigger build? Do I wish we had a longer segment? Do I wish we didn't have a very boring segment last week? Sure, but it is what it is. You get your time, you do your thing, and sometimes things get thrown together. It is what it is, right?" Well, it's always hard to say with Trish because, and Boza, thank you for that because that was just added. Roxanne Perez, Sol Ruca, Alexa Bliss, and Kairi Sane in a singles Fatal 4-Way match ahead of that Fatal 4-Way tag team match at Evolution this weekend. So thank you for that. And actually going back to Trish, because I'm happy Evolution is back this weekend, but this is where I'm going to have to put my PR pants on because the build-up, the promotion, and everything else, it did very much dragged and felt very rushed. a bit, because when you really think about it, you would think at least Evolution, because it's been a while since we've had an all women's pay-per-view. You get very excited. But from strategically standpoint, it really did not do well when it comes to planning ahead, and really didn't think about the vision and kind of like thinking, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this, and really trying to bring as enough star power as I can. That's why I know people are not really happy with Io and Rhea Ripley having a match again, but you need the star power to say the least. Same thing with Nikki Bella. She's entering herself into the battle royal, and that's why you're bringing Trish. And also, you're going to have Jade versus Naomi. But those are some of the things that I get, but not very good on the strategic side of it. And I kind of wish they had a lot of planned out a lot more better. But that's just me. I'm pretty sure a lot of people from the WWT panel, and I know kayfabe, they were talking about this last night. And yeah, philosophy to pull butts pay-per-views out of their seats, because at the end of the day, it's all about revenue and income and everything else. Hi, Eric Isaac. Thank you for joining on this edition of WWT Live. And yeah, it would be cool to see Trish as WWE Women's Champion in 2025, especially with this WWE versus AEW pissing contest. They don't want us to talk about Texas. Well, yeah, that's also a reason too. And also, it is Trish's 25th anniversary. She's doing this whole tour throughout the year. So obviously, it's always nice to see Trish Stratus and also Stratus Faction, her, Lita, Victoria, that whole golden era. That's one of the reasons I fell in love with women's wrestling, and will always leave a special place in my heart. But Trish, it's always something that's for me strategically, that's kind of I wish it was built a little bit stronger, but we'll be doing a lot of bold predictions. So, and like I said, you don't know who's going to show up to the WWT pod. So we'll be talking about Evolution in a little bit, but just a little quick news. And also, this is actually good news. ECW original Francine. The last couple months, this has been an ongoing thing because she mentioned that she actually had a health scare. And this happened for the last couple weeks and the last month and a half, where she was very, very concerned because she really thought that something was happening. And she mentioned this on her podcast that she does. And she recently made the news that she got the biopsy results and no cancer was found. So that is good news. And congratulations to Francine on not detecting anything cancer. It's always a good feeling where we get good news with wrestlers, especially when it comes to their health, because not many people realize being on the road 24/7, it is a job, but also making sure your health comes first before anything else, because we don't want to see the wrestlers in a very scary path. We have seen this occurring issue many times, but it's always one of the lighter stuffs where we hear. So I'm happy Francine is cancer-free. She is doing her thing, and definitely send her well wishes in any way possible. So kudos to Francine on that. Also, a little bit of TNA news. If you watched TNA last night, and this was actually posted today on socials, and you may recognize this guy, Enzo Amore. And the video message was paid for by Fourth Row Promotion. If you don't know what that is, that's actually a wrestling promotion by Westside Gunn, who is also a rapper based in Buffalo, New York. He actually had the chance to help out with, he actually accompanies Swerve Strickland. And speaking of hip hop, because one of our panels actually had the chance to talk to an AEW star who did Reebok. So I got to give a shout out. This is the other panel of our WWT group, Jacob.
Did you miss me? Did you miss me? I feel like
How are you, sir?
I've been here.
How are you, sir?
I am good. How are you, Courtney? Aren't we missing somebody?
Who?
Didn't somebody say they were going to be here or asked about this.
Yes. Yes. That's why I did the watch along. That's why I did the live show. I was like, okay.
You know, I happened to open up my YouTube app, was watching the clips Tiny Desk and was like, oh, damn, Courtney out here by herself. Let me slide through, come through in the clutch and help out. We got a lot of wrestling this weekend and it's been a while. So I'm here. Somebody got to come to work around here.
Yeah, we got a lot to do, and I'm just pulling up because this is a story that's happening. Enzo Amore. I don't know if you follow TNA, but he actually did a promotion on TNA. And he came in and did a promo and just wanted to get your quick thoughts. But before you get your quick thoughts, we do have one of our officials here who actually made the commitment that he is coming to work because we have a ton of bold predictions. And that is our official, our mayor, said. Is your audio working?
Am I clear enough?
Yes. You're clear.
Something's wrong with my internet. We're going to fix this in a second.
Oh.
Salutations, everyone.
Well,
his name and he appears. I believe it said.
it was sooner or later he was going to play that clip.
I don't think I pressed that time. That's all right. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Yep.
And it's ironic because you and Jacob
off.
came. Oh, so are you good?
I'll be back.
With
I'll
your
be
internet?
back.
Anyways, while
nothing
he's
if not
back, Jacob, I'm gonna
consistent.
go. And it's only Friday. It's the end of the week. But anyway, is my internet on? Okay, my internet's working. Okay, cool. My internet's working. But Jacob, just going back to this because Enzo Amore made an appearance on TNA Impact, and the video message was paid for by Fourth Row Promotion, and he used the term Forbidden Door and said TNA is coming to his backyard. Of course, obviously promoting Slammiversary. That's happening later this month. And just wanted to get your quick thoughts on seeing Enzo Amore in TNA. And what do you think that's going to happen moving forward?
Yeah, you remember those old paid commercial breaks that AEW used to do on Impact TV?
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe I got from that. I don't know if this is more so Enzo coming to TNA or TNA going over the West Side and Fourth Rope, which I think is more the latter. And I know Slammiversary's coming up. I believe they're actually in a basketball arena. They're going for a big show for Slammiversary, which much props to them. So why? Hey, again, it's Enzo's backyard. He still has star power and drawing power, whether you like him or not. Fourth Rope is hot. I'm sure this is going to build to some kind of mini invasion or something. I'm cool with it. Let's let it rock. Let's let it cook. Let's see what we get out of this.
Yeah, because I know Fourth Rope, they just did an event in Paris. And I think they are planning to do another one again. They didn't say exactly where, but it is starting to cook a bit. And if you have not been to an event, I highly recommend checking it out, checking out their socials, because they just released their full event when they were in Texas. So feel free to check that out. Very curious on what Enzo is going to do. And this story is very interesting. You're probably guessing why this list is out. And this is actually truly bizarre because there has been a new study that reveals WWE and AEW stars facing highest levels of online abuse. And apparently, it's not a coincidence because the research found it that Charlotte Flair topped the list. along with many other wrestlers that top this list. And this has been going around for the last couple days. And you probably see, looking on this list, you're probably thinking, who is on this list? I don't know why Tegan Nox is on this list. CM Punk is on this list. The Young Bucks are on this list. Alexa Bliss, Jon Moxley. This is pretty much the list. So, Jacob, you got any thoughts on this list?
So you look at it and it's like one of these is not quite like the other. And that one is Tegan Nox. And then you think about it, no, she belongs on the list. I might be a little surprised she's number 5, but if you think about it, Tegan is constantly being harassed about, oh, you can't stay healthy. You're the girl that blows her ACL out. You're the girl that blows her knee out every time she steps in the ring. Like if you search Tegan Nox or Nixon Newell, and like I promise you that'll be the first like 10 responses that come up that aren't from Tegan herself directly. So it tracks. Jericho's a little low, but whatever. We can understand Charlotte's hate. We understand Nia, Mercedes, Saraya. Natty is like the one I don't get. Like I know we crack the jokes here, but like what Natty do other than wrestle, train your favorite wrestler, post a photo of her in a bikini or lingerie, and promote her sister's OnlyFans, and then like cuss this y'all out? Like what else? What does Natty do to bother y'all? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, I get with Chris Jericho because people want him to retire from AEW and they want to do this and this. And, well, I could see why, because majority of this list consists of, well, if you look at top 5, it's pretty much consists of women. It's pretty much all women across the board. Now,
it is all women. Top 5 is women. There's only 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 men on the list that take up 6 of the 15 spots. Because you count the Bucks as a duo, so
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I really thought the Young Bucks were going to be a little bit higher, but that's just me. And Alexa Bliss, that's not a shocker to me because unfortunately she has a lot of interesting people on the internet, and I don't know how you guys stay up late because you think it's easy saying a lot of hateful things on the internet, but who am I to say? Because unfortunately, you think it's okay to say misogynist, sexism remarks where pretty much 9 out of 10, you really never really been on a date. But who am I to say? So, and you probably wouldn't say it to their face if you met them at a meet and greet.
Oh no, I would have bet that most of them have met them at meet and greets and be like, oh my God, I love you so much. You're so great. You're this, you're that. Like, as somebody who's been interviewing people for over a decade, whether I'm on a phone or in the same room with you, I would tell it to you no matter what. And I've said some stuff to people and ran into people in certain places, and they'd be like, hey, remember that one time you said that? And I go, yeah, what's your point? I said it, and I still stand by it. So, like, if y'all want to, be little keyboard warriors, just say it with your chest when you run up in somebody at a meet and greet, and then all of a sudden you become their biggest fan.
It's not that hard to really say the truth, but do what you do. Just don't be a dickhead. That's all I have to say. Just don't be a dickhead on the internet.
You're talking to the IWC.
All the narcs that's what I call them, all the narcs of the world, because they got nothing better to do for themselves. But that's a conversation I'll save for another day. But moving on. So, as you know, as I mentioned, we are going to talk about this later with All in Texas. Chris Statlander discussing the possibility of AEW doing an all-woman show. She was saying this during the media today for All in Texas. The Battleground podcast pushed out their latest chat with Chris Statlander. And when the conversation moved along, the idea of AEW running an all-women's event was brought up. And this is what Stat had to say. I don't know if the locker room is pushing for AEW to do an all-women show. I think anything is a good option. More wrestling is always great. Having the amount of wrestling that we do have right now is wonderful. Getting to showcase as many of the amazing talent that we have, men and women, is awesome. I am not a person who, tries to lead the change on many things. I kind of just see where things go because you never know where anything can go. Everything in life is unpredictable. I think we could all hope for the girls that work so hard being showcased more and maybe get to something like that. But everything comes with the time. Everything has its plan, and it is what it is. I know people want to know my reaction, but Jacob, I'm going to start with you first.
Translation from that word salad that the lovely Chris Statlander just gave us, I'm pretty sure it was a top shelf Michelin star Caesar salad of a word salad translation. Hey, dog, I would love to do it, but like, you only see me on TV in a 30-second clip, so like, I don't know what to tell you, pimp. I had to show up to work, and like, it ain't 9:26 on a Wednesday, so I ain't got to work, so it'd be nice, but like, I'm just here doing my job. I would love it. But let's think about it, because let's see. You have Thekla and Queen doing their little bit right now. You have regulated Megan Bain and Penelope Ford to Collision. Anna Jay just came back and Ty, so they're doing their thing. Mercedes and Tony are the only ones that get shine on Dynamite and or Collision. Willow is in the Death Riders thing still.
Yeah, she is.
Somewhere in that orbit. I hadn't seen her lately, but like you're still there.
She is.
So did I miss any other woman on the roster? Because you signed Peraza, like Jeffrey said, nowhere to be found. Yeah, you signed her, you shot her straight to the top, and then shot her straight to ROH with Taya. So Mrs. Johnny TV, which I mean they're doing good stuff over there. It's just, pay your $9.99 a month for Honor Club and check out your Ring of Honor. Just be reminded that, I don't know, the best women's champion in all of the business in the form of Athena is doing what right now? Defending the ROH women's title against Thunder Rosa. Is it in the buy-in? Or is it on Death Before this Dishonor? Did they not even put that on All In?
It's on Supercard tonight.
I'm sorry, Supercard. Like I get it, but like okay. So there's one women's match on All In tomorrow, correct?
I mean, other than the gauntlet match, that's pretty much it.
So one, and then the WWE Battle Royal gauntlet spill of like, hey, let's get everybody on the card real quick to force somebody into a title shot that's going to be useless. Yeah, dog, I agree with Stat, basically, just in a not so nice way. Like, it's going to take some effort, an actual attempt to do this. I just don't see it being in the cards for AEW or ROH right now, because you got All In, you got Forbidden Door, and you have Grand Slam all in the next 2 months, month and a half. He ain't worried about a women's show. You might not. Nah, you ain't getting a women's show within 3 years from AEW.
Said your thoughts?
What are we talking about?
Chris Statlander, because they did a media day in honor of All In Texas, and somebody asked her the possibility of AEW doing an all-women show.
Not a pay-per-view, but just like a weekly show.
Possibly. It didn't say specifically, but
the assumption in the way she worded it was basically they should do an all-women pay-per-view, like their version of Evolution. It's what I took from how she answered and worded it and how the question was asked.
While that should be the goal, and I would hope that they all aspire to do that, I would, I would hate to see the same thing happen to the AEW women that are happening to the WWE women, where it's just thrown together and you just have matches just for the sake of having matches. without any real attachment to the matches or outcome.
Is that not AEW in general?
Exactly.
Outside of a few things?
Exactly. But you should want an all-women show to feel more monumental to that, because this will be the first time that a Turner Broadcasting Network would be capable of doing something like that. So you want to make it stand out as much as you possibly can.
Yes. But so, okay, where do you stick it in the calendar? If you were to do this in the next 6 months to a year, from All In tomorrow to All In Wembley next year, which will be August, that bank holiday in August, where do you stick it on the calendar?
Your best bet.
Better question is, do you have a match big enough to sell it now?
If you really wanted to think about it, because I'm looking at that calendar, your best bet, because World's End, you have December. I mean, your first pay-per-view is Revolution in March. Like, you have from January all up to March. I don't see why not. They can't do it. But I wouldn't even expect them to do a pay-per-view, but maybe like for something to start, or if they can't do it on Dynamite, but maybe on Collision. And I'm actually going to be talking about this later when we do our bold predictions. But I do think this is something Tony Khan needs to do after All In, because I'm not thinking about Forbidden Door. I'm actually thinking about Wembley Stadium next year, because if you really, really think that your women's division is the best, you got to prove it. Actions speak a lot more louder than words. I mean, your highest paid woman said this many times on TV. You said it yourself in many interviews. You're going back to Wembley Stadium. Like, what is it going to take for you to really convince that? Because honestly, I can think of many angles to really think about this. I mean, you could do Mercedes and Athena for next year, because if Athena drops the Ring of Honor Championship, that could be something. Or how about this one? Because nobody thought of this sooner. Jamie Hayter coming back to England, because she didn't come to the first All In at Wembley Stadium because she was hurt. She made a slight appearance in the second one. So that's another thing too. And actually, her and Tony Storm actually have a rivalry that I would like to go a little bit deeper. But that's another thing too. And I think this is something he really needs to sit down and reflect once All In Texas is over. If you ain't going to get help from anybody in your executive board, your shitty EVPs and Young Bucks, you ain't going to get help with Kenny Omega. This is something you really have to sit. And yes, you can be as very stubborn as you want to be, Tony Khan, but you got to put your big boy pants on and really stretch yourself a bit. But that's kind of my 2 cents on it. Jeffrey, I know they tried to do this in the past, and I have nothing against women being in charge of it, but you kind of need somebody to have that mindset. I know, and this is no disrespect or shade to Medicine Rain, because I know she's there, but I haven't done much. You really haven't done much. This is no shade at her, but really finding somebody that has the mindset, and also being an advocate and vocal for that women's division. Because when you look at all that paper, they have the talent to do it. It's just giving them direction and also character development. But that's just...
I mean, I hear Gail Kim is allegedly still unemployed.
I think she made an appearance in, I want to say, NXT? Backstage? She was backstage at an NXT event. But we shall see, because that idea is floating around a little bit, and sure, we'll be talking more about that with All In Texas. But just 2 quick news before we go into our both predictions. This was actually announced yesterday that Dustin Rhodes signed a new 6-year deal with All Elite Wrestling. So he will be staying with the company. And this was to a feature story that was featured in the Dallas Morning News. In the new deal, we'll see the veteran take on multiple roles for the promotion. And I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts regarding Dustin Rhodes' newest deal on signing with AEW. And I'll start with Ced.
Said 6 years. This isn't in ring, right? It's not
No,
all in ring.
no, because he does backstage work as well. I believe he's a producer and a coach.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of game that Dustin can give to superstars who are looking to have some longevity in their career. Obviously, a lot of places that he's worked, a lot of different iterations of his character. So he's probably a good person to have backstage in that capacity. And from all of everything that you see online, he seems like he's very happy with the person he's allowed to be as far as wrestling, working with talent backstage in AEW. So I think he's happy. So I'm glad that they're actually taking care of vets like this.
Jacob, any thoughts regarding Dustin's new deal?
Yeah, 6 years is a long ass time in any kind of deal, especially in wrestling and especially for somebody of Dustin's age. But like Ced said, he's been around forever and has been great and valuable in every organization he's been in. So this will help. And again, he's having fun. He's enjoying the things he's doing. So yeah, this is great. He's one of those people that you got to do whatever it takes to keep him in-house. And once you get him in-house, make sure you actually use him and don't forget that he's in-house.
Indeed, and really want to give and congratulations again to Dustin Rhodes on this latest deal. He has been an asset since AEW's been around, and also he'll be competing on Ring of Honor Supercard tonight, which we'll be talking about shortly. And also another person that has had a taste within AEW, Kevin Von Erich, and this actually happened this past week. If I can pull up the report. This was actually on a surprise appearance on their son's podcast titled The Claw Pod. They revealed that their father, WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Von Erich, has officially signed a deal with All Elite Wrestling. And both of the brothers, Ross and Marshall Von Erich, explained that their father now has a Legends deal with the company. And he, quote unquote, saying, "My dad is he's on the team. He's with AEW now." And they were surprised. They spoke about the importance of having veterans like their father in the locker room to help guide the next generation. They still have tons of tools that will help the younger guys, and having their dad in the locker room, they'll get better. They also shared how impressed they were to learn that current top AEW stars like Will Ospreay and MJF are huge fans of the Von Erich legacy and regularly study their work from the world-class championship wrestling days. Jacob, just a quick thoughts regarding Kevin Von Erich signing a Legends deal with AEW?
I mean, it kind of applies to the Dustin statement of like, okay, great. You got somebody who has seen a lot of stuff and survived a lot. Go watch the movie and then go read one of the umpteenth books or watch one of the umpteen amount of documentaries and see the stuff that they left out the movie. And like the man is a wealth of knowledge. His two boys are there. They're growing. They're becoming their own. Cool. You signed them. Use them. You making all these signings for people that have been around and have high-level wrestling and have got more wrestling than all of us will ever learn put together. It don't mean shit if you don't use it. So, sounds great on paper, but you going to use the man for something or no?
Ced, you got any thoughts with Kevin Von Erich?
Yeah, I echo the same sentiments. Hopefully it's something that we see the fingerprints of this signing, and it's not just something that's done on the surface for people like us and writers to talk about it and write about it. Hopefully we actually see use of his knowledge that he can pass on to the next generation of talent.
Yeah, Kevin Von Erich, especially with his whole family. I mean, we've all know the story on who he is. If you have not seen The Iron Claw, please go see the film. I had the chance to watch it, and it was a very telling story about him and his brothers. It's really telling. And also seeing his sons signed within the Ring of Honor AEW space, it really is nice to watch. And also hearing about guys like Will Ospreay and MJF really getting inspired and influenced by the Von Erichs and the World Class Championship Wrestling. Happy to see that influence is still there to the young current generation, and also seeing a lot more contributions to him moving forward. So congratulations again to both Dustin and Kevin Von Erichs on their latest deals, and wish them the best of luck. And as I mentioned, this is a super stat card because we got a lot of bold predictions. And we start off with tonight, Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor happening tonight. We have the Ring of Honor World Championship, Bandito taking on Konosuke Takeshita. Jacob, who do you got in this match?
It's time to get that belt up off of Bandito because he won the belt in a hot shit show of a mess of a match with Chris Jericho. Let's give Takeshita some gold. Let's kind of add a little bit more to Callis and making him more annoying. And maybe we could do something because let's keep it a buck. No knock on Bandito. Bandito's been great. He is a great wrestler. But that Ring of Honor world title, ever since Tony Khan has bought the company, you got it off aggression, a mess. It really wasn't hidden on Claudio. Wasn't really hit. It was kind of hidden on Claudio and Eddie. And then once they went away from each other, it stopped hidden. It was just Briscoe and Jericho. So, like, that belt feels like a mid-card belt. Let's give it to Takeshita and let's put some actual prestige back on this belt and make it mean something.
Said?
Yes, I hear what Jacob is saying, but I wouldn't think that Takeshita would be the person to carry that banner and make it any more prevalent. So I think Bandito retains. I'm more on the side where I want to continue to see more Takeshita in New Japan and being more of the face or one of the many faces to revitalize that brand because he does some phenomenal work when he's on those shows.
Fair, but like you just said, Takeshita, he was in Maple Leaf. He'll pop up in Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. He shows up in New Japan. He's the one that does all the outside work. I ain't seeing Bandito pop up in too many places, not named AEW Ring of Honor, CMLL. Take that belt for a world tour, dog. What's the worst that could happen at this point?
I know Bandito has been doing great as a Ring of Honor World Champion. I would love for him to retain, but I'm thinking long term on this because the Don Callis family seems a lot more stronger. They seem a lot more dangerous than ever, and it's time for them to get some gold in their belt. I would like for Takeshita to be the new Ring of Honor World Championship champion, and also with the fact too, he's actually going to be in the G1 tournament as well. He's going to be participating in the G1 that's happening over in New Japan. So that's an added bonus too, because that could also help, especially if people are not too familiar with Ring of Honor. But yeah, I think it's time for Don Callis family to at least get some gold in their belt. So I'm going with Takeshita being the new Ring of Honor champion. So that's that. We also have the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, Lee Moriarty taking on Blue Panther. Said?
Retain. Moriarty retains.
Jacob?
Yeah, keep STP looking strong. Lee Moriarty picks up the win.
Yeah, I can't see Lee Moriarty dropping that belt anytime soon, and Shane Taylor Promotions is starting to pick up a little bit. So it's pretty much the same. Lee Moriarty retains tonight. We also have the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match. The Infantry taking on Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Said, who do you got in this match?
See, I'll admit that I don't watch a lot of Ring of Honor. I know it's behind a paywall. It's very hard to see. But every time I see this oddball tag team of Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes. I don't know what it does to my skin, but it's irritated. I don't like it. And I got to see the infantry at Fourth Rope WrestleMania weekend. Very dope tag team. They actually got the crowd on fire that night. So I'm pulling for the infantry to become the tag team champions.
Jacob?
Same. Like, honestly, again, keep STP strong. Let's get Shane Taylor promotion back to what it used to be. The infantry wins because they are great. They're entertaining. I'm sure everybody by now has seen the clip of them betting on the match between Shane Taylor and Swerve with Prince Nana in the corner shooting dice. Like, yeah, infantry wins. Like, I love Dustin and all, like, nice homecoming, but dog, you know how the business goes. Look up at them lights while you back at home.
I have adored Dustin and Sammy being tag team champions, but I think it's time for somebody to get some gold. I would like the infantry to at least be the new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. I think they could bring a little bit of boost within that tag team division in Ring of Honor. I get there are some teams from AEW that come to Ring of Honor, but that could be really fun too. So I'm picking the infantry as the new tag team champions. So we pick the infantry. And now we have the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. We have Nick Wayne. I can't even enunciate his name because they did it on Collision last night and I forgot how to enunciate it. But Jacob, who do you got winning this match?
It is never good for somebody who's like, look, I can't even get the man's name right. So that being said, this is happening tonight. So I'm going to go with Christian Cage's son because this builds into the eventual storyline and break. He finds a way to retain, probably with some help from Penelope Ford's other half.
Said?
Yeah, Nick will retain in it's a busy weekend for him because he'll be in the tag team match on Saturday as well, right? So
yes.
I can't see him taking an L going into that match because I don't expect them to win that match.
Yeah, indeed. I don't think since he has a big match tomorrow, I can't afford to see him losing. And plus, with the fact him and Christian have been having a little bit of friction with each other the last couple of weeks, I'm picking Nick Wayne to retain the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. So that's 3 for 3. We also have the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship match. The Forever Champion, the hometown girl Athena, taking on another Texan, Thunder Rosa. Said, who do you got winning this match?
It feels like Thunder Rosa used to be such a big deal in AEW. Yeah, I know Thunder's been chasing after Athena for a while. It seems like they're finally getting more comfortable putting Athena on AEW television. So maybe that's a sign of things to come. And if they do that, I think they try to keep the Ring of Honor stuff somewhat separate from the brand. I'm going to throw caution and win and pick Thunder Rosa here.
Jacob?
Why is this not on All In? Like, I understand you have Super Card of Honor, but like, Athena is from Texas. Thunder Rosa is from Texas. Athena is the longest reigning champion.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder Rosa is a former AEW Women's World Champion. You just teased me with Athena being on AEW TV the past couple months, off and on. Why not just, I don't know, put this on All In? It's not like you can't shoehorn another match in. And like, let's actually get some exposure for ROH, depending upon whatever happens. And you got things off and running. That being said, Athena wins. This should be close, but like said, what the hell happened to Thunder Rosa? It's like she was great. The back got messed up, and ever since then, it's been like, yeah, we know. We know. Just keep doing your little videos and do all your social media stuff and do Bust Open. We'll give you something in a couple months. That's how I feel like they treat Athena. Like, here, damn, this is the spot for Athena. I'm sorry, for Thunder Rosa.
It's very ironic because Bosley and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago. because we were thinking of a way for Athena to come to AEW, and we were thinking who would be the person to take the belt from her, because outside of Thunder, who else is there? Not many. So I will take Thunder Rosa as the belt, and this is just for me. I think she could be the new Ring of Honor Women's Champion, because that can also be an opportunity for Athena to be in tomorrow's Casino Gauntlet match. But that's just my own theory. That's a possibility, but I picked Thunder Rosa as the new Ring of Honor Women's Champion. So
We shall see.
we shall see. It's happening. Oh, and this match was actually added earlier today. This actually mentioned on the call this past week, because she was injured. Red Velvet had to relinquish her title because of a serious injury. So they have an interim Ring of Honor Women's World TV Championship match. So this is pretty much a wild card fatal 4-way match. Miyu Yamashita, Yuka Sakazaki, Mina Shirokana, and I don't want to enunciate the last person's name wrong, but
Persephone?
yes, because I didn't want to announce that wrong. But this is the fatal 4-way match that's happening tonight. And said, your thoughts?
It's I have no idea. I didn't know this was happening, but it's 100% going to be Mina.
Jacob?
Who the hell else but Shirakawa?
Oh, thank you for that, Boza. Because at first they wanted her to relinquish it, but thank you for clarifying that up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Mina Shirokana in this one. I think she would definitely bring a lot of light into Ring of Honor, and plus, once Red Velvet heals, I think they would really have a dope match when she feels at 100%. But that is Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor happening tonight. That's the whole card of it, and we might as well jump right into All in Texas, because that's happening tomorrow. We actually have a 0-hour match. The Outrunners versus FTR for 0 hour. Jacob, you just want to give your quick thoughts on this?
That does not feel like a 0-hour match. That kind of feels like it should actually be on the card. But that being said, Stokely Hathaway's boys pick up the win.
Said?
Outrunners got a lot of praise for the match they just did with these guys on Dynamite 300. So I think it's time to make it a little bit more balanced. I think the Outrunners get the win, especially since it's not that meaningful that it's going to be on 0 hour.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of stinks because I'm happy the Outrunners are getting a lot of TV time. And I think this rivalry with FTR can help them really be serious tag team contenders somewhere down the line. Plus, you're facing off against a former tag team champion. But I'm picking FTR only because to continue that momentum. And they did say they are eyeing the 3-way tag team match. That will happen later in the show. And Boza, thank you for mentioning that, because there was another match for 0 hour. I just didn't get the graphic for it. But just a quick one. It's Big Boom AJ and the Conglomeration.
We're not
taking
talking
on
about
the
this.
remaining mentors.
We're not
Next.
talking about this.
Next.
Yeah,
Next.
You will pick alone. I am not talking about that.
I'm not picking alone, but just FYI. There's another match at 0 hour.
Is it next?
We're not acknowledging that. No.
Costco does not sponsor this podcast, so we are not going to talk about this. Keep pushing.
When I saw that on the social last night, I almost
You were like, no.
When I saw Josh Alexander tweet about this, I was like, nope. Next. Nope.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right, we'll just jump
Poor
right
Kyle,
into
man. Damn it. Subject to Kyle to that bullshit. He just had that match against the Proto Star.
Hell, Josh Alexander was just had a banger at Ace Austin, and this is what we gonna do now?
And let me be honest here. I am all for people living their childhood dreams. I am very in touch with my inner child. But what are we doing here? Like, I want to understand the AEW fan, the hardcore AEW fan's mind that doesn't like boo this off the screen. I think it got booed from what I heard on in the audio in the audience, or if not, that was just on social media. But it's like you complain about Chris Jericho and everything he's doing for the brand, and you got to take a grain of salt, like everything he did to make the brand relevant. They hate Chris Jericho online, but we cheer the Cookie Monster.
I can pretty much say this from my own experience because I was at Full Gear in Jersey. That guy was not booed.
It was a home field advantage. That's like Bret Hart going back to Canada as a heel. He gonna get booed no matter what. It's home field advantage. All I'm saying is, if you guys find no problem and enjoy Rizzler and whatever and the Costco boys and all that dumb stuff, but you hate on Jey Uso and his entrance and everything else, fight me. Because they wanted the same.
It's like, how do we find time for that? But there's so many people you can't find time to. But we only have, what, 2 women's matches? But we can do this.
Like, see Statlander's quote about, doing a show?
Man.
Yeah, it's very interesting how the Narcs bashed Jey Uso's and his 5 moves, moveset.
God, that promo was so bad. Just reminded me of that mess. But Ops Retain. I know we're on a different graphic. Ops Retain.
Jacob.
One, Willa Yuta really does look like a dog. That being said, I think, you know what? Death Riders get this one because I think Gay Kid. Nah, screw it. Ops Retain. I'll tell you why in a second. The Ops Retain.
I mean, you can say it now.
Nah, we'll get to it in a minute.
I'm gonna pick the Ops to retain this one. I know this is gonna be a gruesome match, but I'm excited for this one. But I do see the Ops retaining in this. So, and it's nice to see Gabe Kidd back on TV, even though he wants to spit in Willow's face. But who am I to say? Yeah, you're on my enemies list. Not good. But we have Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay taking on the Young Bucks. Zed?
It's a stupid stipulation that we're going to see actually play out. The Bucks win.
Jacob?
The Bucks win only because I think this is going to send Swerve down a dark path again. So yeah, the Bucks got to win to get us to a point eventually. So yeah, Bucks win.
As much as I would love Swerve and Will Ospreay to win, I'm only picking the Young Bucks because I'm thinking further ahead to next year, since it's back at Wembley Stadium, and also with the fact too, even though they can't go for a shot for the year, it will be interesting to see how the Owen Hart Men's Cup tournament plays out. So that's why I'm thinking long term, because it's back at Wembley Stadium in London, and plus it'll be a nice homecoming for Will Ospreay. So I am taking the obnoxious and crappy EVPs, the Young Bucks, to win. So that's that. We also have the men's casino gauntlet. We now know Mark Briscoe and MJF have number 1 and number 2. And Mystico, it looks like he hasn't drafted a number, but his name has been popped up of being in the match. So, Jacob, who do you have winning the casino gauntlet match? Or who do you think is going to make a surprise return at the casino gauntlet?
Let's see here. I don't see MJF winning it because I feel like him and Briscoe are actually going to go into their own little concentrated feud As far as anybody returning, just looking through the roster, Buddy Matthews is still down for the count.
Mhm.
I swear to Black, White, and Colored Wrestling Jesus, if Jericho returns, I want no parts of it. I think Juice Robinson ain't close yet. You know what would be great and what would be lovely and ideal and perfect? It would be the one person that could win this and I could be cool with them losing a world title match immediately after. Keith Lee. But I don't see it happening. I don't know who's going to win. I doubt it's MJF. It's going to be some random person that you can just basically have afford to eat a loss. It wouldn't shock me if damn Christian Cage won it again.
Said?
Yeah, I don't have a prediction for who will win. I'm more interested to see the talent that is going to appear and any surprises. I think Keith Lee is my surprise return that I would hope could win. I see Jeffrey saying Eddie Kingston. I think Eddie Kingston's still far away with his injury recovery. That would be one that I would think would be a perfect time if he could muscle through something, but I think he's too far away an injury.
That, and it don't seem like him and AEW on the best of pages right now. Just judging by the way Eddie's been talking to some of these promos. It may just be him being fed up with insurance and the knee being banged up, but yeah, I wouldn't bank on seeing Eddie Kingston before, say, November.
Mm-hmm. Probably around time Full Gear happens. Regarding, because you don't know who's going to show up, I would not be shocked to see Jay White because I know he broke his hand. So I would not be shocked if he made a return. Also, since Forbidden Door is next month, I would not mind seeing an appearance by Zack Sabre Jr. Since Forbidden Door is pretty much almost around the corner, he can make a surprise appearance. He did last year.
You can't beat the other company's world champion.
Oh, you can't.
Not when he just won said world title.
He could, but that is true because he just won the title. So that is out. I mean, I had a crazy theory, but I'll save it for the main event because I can't really think of who is really going to win this. I mean, I would not be surprised.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it. Darby returns and wins. There it is. I'm going to just say it. I'm going to put it out there. That's part one of,
put it in the universe
of one or two scenarios that I have for the main event.
That could happen. He could make a surprise appearance in the Casino Gauntlet.
He survived Everest, so like, I mean, we got to get a payoff for something at some point.
So we shall see with the men's Casino Gauntlet. We also have the TNT Championship match. Kyle Fletcher taking on Adam Cole. Said. Who do we got? Kyle Fletcher or Adam Cole?
Did you say my name?
Yeah, I did. I said your name.
And Mr. Watson's internet's not cooperating with us today. While Mr. Welton tries to figure out his internet, let me just slide in real quick here. Look, Adam Cole, your AEW run has been mid, like Nas's discography. Now that Mr. Welson's out of here, I can say that freely. You know, you got some really nice highs, but them lows have been really bad. That being said, it's Kyle Fletcher's time. Like, I love Adam Cole to death. But that boy Kyle Fletcher is the future, and that boy is money. Coming out here looking like Patrick Starr every week, standing next to Takeshita in all black, just like two polar opposites. Little baby Ospreay for the win.
I have nothing against Adam Cole. I just think his reign has been a little bit of a dread because I thought at least he would have his open challenge back. but he's been feuding a lot with the Don Callis family. And as I mentioned, it's time for the Don Callis family to get some gold. I wouldn't mind seeing Kyle Fletcher be the new TNT champion. I would not mind seeing the Aussie protostar get his belt. And then we have this match. Okada taking on Kenny Omega.
So, I don't think I've been seen since the night this belt debuted, because I know I hopped in your watch along and had a few words.
Yeah, you didn't like the belt.
This ain't nothing but the original women's belt in gold and just a smidge bigger. The belt looked like shit. Okay? Did you see that beautiful international title that is on Kenny's shoulder? That belt is beautiful, amazing. That belt is prestigious. That's the workhorse title of AEW. We all know what that belt means. We all knew that was like the number 2 belt behind the world title. Like, clearly, of all your 80-11 mid-card belts, we knew, hey, if you was international champ, that either meant you were next in line or you was the one that was going to come to work and put them boots on and put out some bangers. See Orange Cassidy, see Ray Phoenix, see Moxley, see anybody that's held that international belt up until about, say now. And then you got the Continental title. I get it, prestigious. You got the history with New Japan and All Japan, the 3 belts. I get it. You tells you that, hey, dog, I'm that guy. I'm that champ. All that prestige. And we just go, hey, you are the AEW Unified Champ. The hell is a unified champ? A unified champ to me means that, like, I had an interim champ, and then I was the man that was out with injury, and I came back and took my shit. That's what it tells me. That's like undisputed. Like, I'm unified, I'm undisputed. Just, we call it a unified belt, and that is the 3rd best looking belt in this photo, and there's only 3 belts in this photo. It's just dumb. Like, you could have just made it winner takes all and not even make a new belt. You could have had whichever one. You could have had Big Kaz, Big Coos over there, Okada holding both. Or you could have had Mr. Kenny, everybody's new favorite Canadian from Winnipeg, holding both and have them defend them separately. But no, we going to go winner take all and unified belts. Like, I appreciate the fact that you consolidating belts here, but like, these ain't the 2 belts you need to consolidate, not for that ugly piece of shit right there anyway. So that being said, this match is going to be about 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, because this pay-per-view starting at 3, yeah, if that thing goes off before 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, if that pay-per-view goes off the air before 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be shocked. This is going to be at least 30 to 45 minutes. They might go a whole hour. Big Coos gets it. Okada wins with a little help and some shenanigans.
Little fact in there, because since Okada's been Continental Champion, he has not gotten a clean pin. He's only gotten 1 draw since he's held that belt.
Still got the belt. That's all that matters.
He still has the belt. As much as I would love to pick Kenny, I am going with Okada. I can imagine with Don Callis, since he's aligned with Don Callis, I'm sure Don Callis is going to be at ringside and probably has some tricks up his sleeve. So I am going to pick Okada to retain that belt, to be the new unified champion. Oh, God. We also have the AEW World Tag Team titles in a 3-way match. We have the Patriarchy, the Hurt Syndicate, Jet Speed. Jacob, who do you got really quick?
We hurt people. That's simple. We hurt people. We hurt people. We hurt people. Hands down.
I'm going to pick the Hurt Syndicate. I believe if anybody's going to take the pinfall, I could see Nick Wayne, only because I cannot see either Speedball or Kevin Knight taking a loss.
Oh, it's Kevin Knight taking that pin.
You think you see him taking that pin?
Yep.
Well, we shall see on that. I'm only picking the Hurt Syndicate because same thing with the women's division. Tony's going to have to do a little bit of a reset within that division and seeing who is out there. We shall see. I don't know, but very curious on where the tag team division is going to go from here moving forward. And as I mentioned earlier, FTR will be at ringside watching this match very closely. And we also have another gauntlet match. We have the women's casino gauntlet match. Jacob, any winner, or do you have any surprises that you think would be in this match?
Let's see. Megasaurus has already had her crack at the title. Let's just look at this roster real quick.
No. So Boza, just to let you know, because this actually happened on Wednesday, whoever wins this match gets a shot at the AEW Women's World Championship match.
Yeah, I should say all the gauntlets are usually for the world title. If I had to say, I'm gonna give 4 people. I'm gonna say Hater. I'm gonna say Statlander. I'm going to say Thekla. I'm gonna go with the Toxic Spider. I'm gonna say Willow, and then I'm gonna actually throw a 5th in there. I'm gonna say Marina Shafir as a 5th, and that's like my absolute wild card from left field.
For that, I would pick my client Jamie Hayter if she's 100%. If she's good to go, because I know she's hurt. Jamie is another one. Also, another surprise, not much of a winner, but this is kind of a surprise since seeing her. I wouldn't mind seeing Alex Windsor in the gauntlet match. I don't see her winning. It's a possibility she's in the match.
Mrs. Osprey.
Yes.
Or as my homeboy likes to go, Mrs. Bruv, which he says AEW should do Mr. and Mrs. Bruv t-shirts.
I don't know about that, but yeah. Hopefully we get to see Alex Windsor make her. I've seen her matches in Collision. She faced off against Toni Storm. She was in a tag team match against Willow Nightingale and also Chris Statlander. That's somebody. Who do I see winning? I mean, I could see Marina being in this. I'm actually going to go with a little bit of a wild card. And if this goes well, I could see Athena winning this, but that's just me. That's just a possibility. I could see Athena running away with it. Said, who do you got winning, or any surprises for the women's casino gauntlet match?
I don't know if there'll be surprises in this one. At least not like a huge surprise that will kind of make the viral rounds. But I think you'll see some New Japan influence here. Some obviously the Ring of Honor stars. I picked Athena to lose the belt because I see her winning this gauntlet match.
Well, we shall see with the Casino Gauntlet. And we have this match. The AEW Women's World Championship match. I'm only going with you first just because. Just get it out the way.
Damn.
Here's the thing. There's not much I haven't said on this platform for weeks, on WWT Live, on the Monday Night Mare, on the CEO Wednesday night show. I've been very consistent with my rhetoric that Mercedes Moné, the greatest women's wrestler on the planet, is going to capture her 8th title. Is it 7 or 8? I can't keep up anymore.
7. It'll be her 7.
I'm still calculating the strong women's title that AZM, Azumi, whatever her damn name is. That's our title too. We're gonna double back and get that one too. So it is 8 in theory because she never lost that title. But all I know is this: Tony, you're a great character. You had a great run. You had your Hollywood ending. This is where the buck stops for good. I don't know what you do after this, and I don't care. But the show runs on Monet. And that's what you're going to see tomorrow at All In Texas.
Jacob?
So, when I sat down and had my chat with Mr. Swerve Strickland about a month ago, I asked him about this match, and I said, Swerve, do you think this should main event? He said, absolutely. It's one of the best stories we got going. The women have deserved that spot. That being said, this probably should main event, but it won't. So I didn't ask him to pick a winner. I should have. But I'm going to go out on a limb And I must say that everybody's favorite bisexual Marilyn Monroe cosplayer, everybody's favorite queer, the timeless one, Tony Storm, finds a way to retain only because we gonna run this back at Forbidden Door. And then I think Mercedes gets her moment.
You know, normally I don't put on my shades for this, but I have to. Because, I've been very, very quiet. A lot of people pick Mercedes, as they should.
Dylan, get ready.
But I will say this is a lose-lose. None of these ladies can afford to lose. When the minute she won the Owen Hart Cup, a lot of people thought she was going to win. Which I'm not surprised. But, she is my client, Tony Storm, and I'm going to stick by my client because no matter what happens, regardless of anything, she will do this. And yes, her record at All In is 0-2. Not that good of a record. But, I get it. Mercedes has all the belts. But I will say this, if Mercedes wins, she needs to drop that TBS title belt. She needs to drop it. Because I don't care what other belt you want. Just drop the TBS title if you're going to win. But for me, I am picking my client, Tony Storm, because there is a lot more to this story a lot of people realize. Because sure, it is about Mercedes' legacy. And sure, she's undefeated and everything else. But also the curious part is you're collecting all these belts, but you can't get the big one that you really want. And that's going to be interesting to see that. But I'm picking my client, Tony Storm. She's going to retain. And also, well, I just want to play this clip.
I will be ready. I will be sweaty. I am here and I am queer. And I will always be timeless.
The Women's World Champion on the boardwalk with Luther.
And I was at that collision too when she did it live on the boardwalk. So that's my pick.
I just got one more question before we move off of this match. Can Juice Robinson fight?
Yeah.
I just want to know if Juice Robinson can fight. That's all. Just asking for a friend.
Fight.
Okay. Just asking.
No, serious, guys. It's going to be a great match. This will be the marquee match of the weekend. And I look forward to seeing you guys as I host my CEO Wednesday after my client wins.
I mean, you can. I'm still going to have my watch along on Wednesday. You think you could take over my show? But I'm still going to have my show. And also there will be a watch along tomorrow for All In.
My gift.
But yours truly will be doing a watch along tomorrow. But I'm really excited for this match. I think these ladies are going to really. But like I said, Tony Khan, you need to put your big boy pants on and really think of what you really want in your women's division after All In. Oh! You will be having Timeless League Wednesday. It's my show. I'm still going to have my show. I'm still going to have it. And we have this match. Texas Death Match. I mean, I got to give shout outs to the graphic designers for AEW because it's a pretty cool graphic. I give them props for that. So, Moxley, Hangman, AEW World Championship match. Jacob, who do you got?
To quote Eminem, do you like violence? Do you want to see me stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids? Because that is bound to happen in this match. As a refresher, the guys had a Texas Death Match, I believe, 2 years ago, and it was bloody. I have Mox retaining. Part of me has Mox retaining. Part of me has Hangman retaining. This match is literally a pick'em, and this match is very dependent upon what happens before in the night. One, with the ops against the rest of the Death Riders, that will give you a tell. The second thing is the Casino Gauntlet. Who wins that will tell you how this main event will go. And the third thing, and arguably the most important thing, is if the Bucks beat Ospreay and Swerve. Because if the Bucks win, then Hangman's walking out with the belt. And now Swerve has to sit here for a year while a man that burnt down his house parades around with the thing that in a roundabout way he took from him. Because Hangman kind of, sort of cost Swerve it all in last year. Like, not directly, but you know. Because I don't see Swerve helping Hangman inadvertently, unintentionally. It's a pickle. I just want violence, and that's all I'm here. I'll be honest. I'm just here for the violence. I kind of enjoy the Death Riders now because I don't want this to end, because I just want to see how much longer they can drag it out. And also if Mox can actually remember where he put the world title. So I'm here for violence, but if you're going to make me pick, give me Mox.
Said?
This one's actually not that difficult for me. I think Mox retains. I think there's still a story to be told. I think the whole Death Riders thing is not a hindrance to the company at all, because it's, to me, if you want storytelling, the fact that this is like so far removed from all these depth of challengers or whatever, it kind of has given AEW some balance, just for me as a viewer. I see all the other storylines more clearly now with this continuing so long. So I think Mox retains. And I also think this is just a way for us to get the reveal at the end of the night. And what's the reveal going to be? Like, are you going to get a return from Copeland? Are you going to get a return from Darby Allin? Are you going to get a return from Bryan Danielson? I think that's what's going to happen. But I think Hangman is just another footnote in this title reign.
I could see a lot of chaos happening in this match, because if this is a Texas Death Match, I expect a whole lot of chaos. I would not be shocked to see any members of the Death Riders come in and try to protect Mox. If the Young Bucks win, I would not be shocked at that, because as Jacob, you mentioned, not only Swerve, but also Will Ospreay too. He can't get a shot at the world title either for a year. So that will be very interesting. I mean, we haven't seen Adam Copeland since Dynasty. Of course, Darby Allin, he could be sneaking in. We have seen Bryan Danielson made a few appearances after the tapings of Ring of Honor and Collision. So that's another layer of possibility. But I do want to see how this story goes out moving forward, and how long are they going to do this. Especially, as I mentioned, are they going to keep going through this until Wembley? Which, that'll be interesting to see, but I am picking Moxley to retain the belt. And that is all in Texas. That is everything, and yours truly will be talking on tomorrow.
We still got 3 more wrestling shows to preview this weekend.
Yes,
3?
Yeah. We got the NXT
Evolution.
I forgot about Great
main
American
event.
Bash, man. Let's speed through these, because we got the watch along coming up in like 10 minutes. But
NXT. These ones should be really easy. So NXT Great American Bash. Who do you got? Said Ethan Page, Ricky Saints.
The cool thing is, I think this is just like Vakur, just like Julia, I think this is the Saint Swan song here. I mean, he's getting his lick back against Ethan. He was just on Cody's podcast. I think Ethan Page wins, and we see Ricky debut on the main roster pretty soon.
Jacob?
Yeah, in the Tony Khan Fumble Bowl, I have All Ego retaining due to shenanigans, because it's Falls County anywhere, so he'll get some help.
Give Ricky Saints his title back. That's who I'm going for. Just give the man back his title. That's all I have to say. And also, just a quick FYI, they are doing a contract signing for Slammiversary between Mike Santana, Trick Williams, and Joe Hendry at the NXT Great American Bash. So,
this is why this card is so weird for me, that we're going to have a contract signing on a PLE.
Shenanigans are afoot. Somebody going through a table.
I would not be shocked if Wesley and the rest of his squad will be there. Pretty sure AJ Francis will be probably lurking around, because he still has issues with Mike Santana, but we shall see on the contract signing. We also have Jasper Thorpe taking on the young OG Javon Evans. Who do you guys got?
I'm picking Jasper Troy.
Go Jasper.
If I go back and look at the I wish I had the stats right now. I don't believe that Young OG's PLE record is actually favorable at all.
It ain't.
I think it might. I think he might be over in general at PLEs, but I think Jasper
he
Troy
just
gets
doesn't take the pin. That's like the one thing with him. They always put him in multi-man to protect him. Yeah, I got Jasper Troy. He is growing on me. They clearly see something. He had a solid match with Oba. He's had some solid spots. And here's the other thing. The young OG is bouncy. He will literally bounce right back from this. The boy's Teflon. And he's like, there's no knocking him down the card. He'll be fine.
Sidebar. Troy is a last name I completely wouldn't mind him losing. In an era
Jasper.
we used to see last names be just taken away, I don't need to hear Jasper Troy. Just call him Jasper. I think it carries fine enough.
Just call him Troy. Don't call him Jasper. Jasper just feels wrong as somebody who grew up in Alabama.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a Jasper.
He doesn't look like either. But if I had to pick one of the
that
two,
is true.
I would just call him Jasper. I feel like him being a big menacing guy, it can work.
I'm gonna pick Jasper Troy to win. I mean, Javon Evans is gonna bounce back. No way, no how. But I just can't see Jasper Troy losing anytime soon. We also have this match, this tag team match. Blake Monroe, the Juggernaut, taking on JC Jane and Fallon Henley.
What?
Okay, so I didn't know this was going on. I thought it was going to be Fallon and Jasmine.
Wasn't it supposed to be a title match?
Evolution.
That's an evolution.
Oh, so it's the next night.
Yeah, so I didn't realize they were going to be getting in the ring with each other twice. So I'll pick Blake and Jordan for this one.
I'm gonna go with Toxic Attraction 2.0, Fatal Influence. Wins only because I got a feeling Jordan Grace gets her crowning moment the next night at home.
And this is also Blake Monroe's first in-ring debut at the NXT Great American Bash. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Blake and the Juggernaut to get this win. I'll go with them too. I actually did enjoy their promo together on a NXT this past week, but we have this match. Inamura taking on the ruler Oba Femi.
Oba.
Is this going to be a sweep?
Yeah. The ruler. And not in a pretty way either. It's going to be a very hard-hitting match, but Oba Femi wins pretty easy.
Pretty easily, and then we see who his next challenger will be.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking Oba Femi too. It's a clean sweep. The ruler is going to retain. And we have the NXT North American Championship, Sol Ruka taking on Izzy Dane.
Shout out to Sol making the rounds all weekend. She'll be on SmackDown tonight. She's competing at Evolution. Great stuff seeing her get some shine. She'll retain her North American title.
Yeah, going with the black woman here. Sol Ruka retains.
Yeah, I'm going to take Sol Ruka. I think she's going to retain her Women's North American Championship belt. So it's a all clean sweep for Miss Sol Ruka. And that concludes NXT Great American Bash. And we have Saturday night's main event. LA Knight, Seth freaking Rollins, 1-on-1. Who do you guys picking?
Death, taxes, and LA Knight eating pins.
I feel like
Seth Rollins wins.
this is such a weak Saturday night main event card to me. So I'm going to shake things up and say LA Knight wins, and I think he's destined to be moved to the Raw brand somehow to continue this rivalry, because he has nothing going for him on SmackDown. At least with this, he can be one of the thorns in this in Seth Rollins' group's side for a while.
I know everybody's picking Seth, but I'm going with LA Knight on this one. He has been interesting and fun to watch on Raw the last couple of weeks, and been playing cat and mouse with Seth, Ron, and Big Bronson Reed. So I'm picking LA Knight to get the pin. And we also have Drew McIntyre taking on Randy Orton.
I don't trust the WWE to do a lot of smart things with their booking, but Drew just got back, and there's no reason he should lose when he just got back.
Yeah.
But I know it's fun to pick Randy, and it's good for Randy to win a lot of things, but I'm picking Drew.
Yeah, I'm picking Drew because Randy doesn't really need to win. Like, he'll be fine. Like, you're not hurting Randy Orton, and Drew could use this. So, yeah, Drew wins.
Yeah, Drew just came back last week. I don't think you want to give him his loss since he came back. And it's not going to really hurt Randy. So I'm going the other way. I'm picking Drew McIntyre to get a win. He needs a win. And we have this match that was announced by Nick Aldis yesterday. Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso for the U.S. title.
Is it his time? Does Big Jim finally get a solo title? No, is the answer. Solo and the rest of them Samoans win.
Yeah, Solo's retaining that. It's good that Jimmy's getting a singles title shot. Maybe it's a sign of things to come down the road, but it's not happening tomorrow night.
Yeah, I can't see Solo losing it anytime soon because he just got it at Night of Champions. He's going to retain. So it's an all three-way sweep. I know you guys don't care about this match, but do you really want to pick? You can say no if you don't want to.
Who says I don't care? Of course I care. This affects my brand.
Well, unfortunately, there's some people, well, not me, but there's some people on our panel that actually say they don't care about this match.
Here's the thing. People don't believe this, but this is truly 50-50. It is. Goldberg wants to have one final match. I feel like you put the title on Gunther, taking the title back from Jay. It's because you don't want your flashy toy that sells all the merchandise to get killed by Goldberg in a match that you knew what you had to do in Atlanta. I totally see a space, and not because in the business you're supposed to leave and go out on your back. I get that, but beating Goldberg does jack shit for Gunther. We know he's a killer. We already know that, and they've softened him up for like the past month, from run-ins with Goldberg to run-ins to CM Punk, you name it. Gunther been getting punked all year.
At McAfee.
Yeah, I can see a space where Goldberg wins tomorrow, has his last hurrah in front of Gage and his family in Atlanta, and he comes out on Monday and he just relinquishes the title. And here we have this dumbass tournament to crown a new champion. So that's what I'm gonna go with. My only prediction is that this match actually goes 10 minutes. People are saying over under 5. I'm going to throw caution to the wind and say 10 minutes. But Goldberg wins, and he relinquishes the title. Dion's going to love that clip. The fact that I picked Goldberg.
Dylan, you might want to clip Jacobs. What he's gonna say.
So everything that Mr. Welton just said is exactly what I fear and exactly was what I've been thinking since this was announced. I had the initial thought of, oh, cool, we'll just nerf Bill and send his old ass on home. Like, go be a family man. Your son is at Colorado or Alabama, one of them. Like, go watch your kid play football. Leave me alone and get off my TV. And then I started thinking about, who are we dealing with here? We're dealing with Triple H. We love headlines. We're all about the moments in social and the interactions and the clips and this and that. And then I remembered Bill Goldberg also nerfed Brock Lesnar when he was not supposed to nerf Brock Lesnar. William Goldberg finds a way by some strange act of the wrestling gods, and not JBL, not John Bradshaw Layfield, because that wrestling god would never curse us like this. But fucking fortunately, Goldberg walks out with the belt, and like said, he comes out Monday and drops it. Actually, he drops it then. He wins it. He takes the boots off, takes the gloves off, leaves it all in the ring, walks out. And you know what we're off and running to now? A tournament to determine the new world champ at SummerSlam, because Cody and Cena, Cody won King of the Ring, so you got to do something for Raw. So you got Seth, you got Gunther, you got Jay, who never got his rematch. You got Punk, who's now coming out here putting his hands on Gunther and letting them know. You can throw a few more folks in there. You can throw Penta. You can throw Bronson in there. And you get you a nice little 8 to 10 man, 12 man little tourney. AJ Styles, if Dom is still on the shelf for a little bit longer. And yeah, you get to a tournament to determine your new world champ at SummerSlam. And good God, I can't believe I just said William Goldberg will win a world title in 2025, the year of our Lord. Oh. This should never happen.
But here we are in 2025.
Rosa, if Goldberg wins and defends another title match at SummerSlam, you have it on good authority. I will do a watch along for that specific match. Live reaction.
Well, I would pick Gunther for this, but I don't know why. I just have this like feeling Goldberg may win. It's a possibility.
Like, it should be a murder. Like, it should be send Bill off into the night on his shield to go home and go play with cars and be a family man and leave me alone and never step foot on my TV again.
But how can you justify murder when he didn't murder Pat McAfee?
Mm-hmm.
Pat McAfee is 10 years younger and better shape. That's the only justification I got.
Don't do that.
Don't
you dare justify
okay, fine.
That. Don't you dare.
I'll justify. Here's how.
Oh my God.
He underestimated Pat. He played with Pat. He treated Pat like food. I think he realized, all right, now I had to pump little William a couple times now. He coming through here with some heat. So let me not play with William. Let me just nerf William. This is the evolution of Gunther, where I've learned to stop playing with my food. See Jay, see Sammy, see Pat. And he learned with Jay because he got Jay up out of here the second go round. And also Jeffrey's right. Actually, you're wrong, Jeffrey. He won't be puffing and blowing. His chest will just be caved in for one chop. Send that man to the upper room. But he won't. So, yeah.
Well, we shall.
Pat McAfee's in better shape than Goldberg.
I said he's younger.
Younger. Keyword, younger.
Better shape than Goldberg.
Younger. It puts him in slightly better shape.
NFL punter is in better shape than Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg age. Bill Goldberg is 58 years old. Soon to be 59.
Well, we have
Pat McAfee is 38 years old. By process of elimination, the man that is 21 years younger is going to be slightly better shape. Slightly better. Slightly. The science tracks, and you know it.
I'm only gonna let that ride because we're the same age. That's the only reason I'm letting that ride.
Well, we shall see on that because Saturday
I
night's
thought
main
Pat
event
was
is.
like 45.
Well, we shall see because Saturday night's main event is tomorrow. I don't even know if we're going to do a watch on tomorrow, but we shall see. And we have one more evolution happening on Sunday. Tiffany Stratton, Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's World Championship match. Who do you guys
Thank
got
you,
winning?
Trish. Thank you, Trish.
I got Trish putting on one hell of a show and Tiffy still retaining. If you had put some build and some stakes behind this, I would believe that Trish could win and Trish would give me a nice little short extended run. But yeah, I got Trish 2.0. I got Diet Trish.
Interesting enough, because Trish Stratus was talking about that on Sam Roberts' podcast today, where she wished the build-up was a lot more longer with her and Tiffany. And as much as I love Trish, and I do agree with her in that, I'm picking Tiffany to retain. So,
like, Tiffany's title reign has been so mid that you can make this switch and then turn it into the build that you want.
good.
You should.
But we shall see with Tiffy and Trish. And then we have this, the fatal four-way match for the women's tag team match. Raquel and Roxanne of the Judgment Day, the Kabuki Warriors, Zarya and Sol Ruka, and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte.
See, this is Rox's first title defense, so I don't want to pick against that. I think it's going to build more into whatever we're doing because we can't kill the Judgment Day for some reason. We just don't want to. Every time we get close, we just, hey, let's put more gold on the Judgment Day. So
they're the white version of Bloodline, dog.
Retain. Yeah, I think they retain, but I can see a space where Kabuki Warriors win as well.
So I'm just curious because I didn't watch Raw this past week. But did they not just do like this whole big promo for Kairi where she was like straight back to the Pirate Princess, like no more damage control, no more Kabuki Warriors, like 2 weeks ago? I saw that, right?
Yes.
That's not the only thing either. You had Asuka and Io meet backstage, and they was like, "Oh yeah, we're no longer in damage control." So,
right, like all three of them have interacted with each other. And like, yeah, nah, dog, I love you, appreciate you, homie, but I got some business to handle, so I'll see you on the other side. How the hell did we get here? And then Charlotte,
Asuka always gonna slide for Kyrie. That's what I've learned.
Pretty much.
But
Alexa and Charlotte is like Dr. Evil and Mini-Me. And then you got Sol Ruka and Zara. Process of elimination says Roxanne and Big Mama Cool retain just to keep things going until Liv eventually can at least return to TV. And we get some payoff there. Although
the real question
Kabuki
is,
Warriors
does
would
Charlotte
make
turn
sense.
on Alexa if they lose?
Other way around.
That's a possibility.
I think Alexa snaps finally.
I'm going to pick up Roxanne and Raquel. The Judgment Day is too hot right now. They got all. I just can't see them losing anytime soon. So I'm picking those two to the team. Then we have the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Bayley, Becky, and Lyra Valkyria.
This is my sneaky pick for match of the weekend. Like, this is my sleeper pick. Bayley finds a way. Like, let's give Bayley that Grand Slam. I got Bayley. The second best horsewoman picking up the win. I'm
not doing that with you today.
She
I'm
ain't 3 or
I'm
4,
taking
so she's either 1 or 2.
we know who one is,
So she's
but
2.
I'm not doing that today.
Oh, man.
I'm taking the Bird Lady, and I'm taking the Bird Lady, and I'm going to say that Bailey eats the pin, and that's going to cause the friction to give us this one-on-one with Bailey versus Becky. But Lyra finally recaptures the IC title. Because this has done more to bring out her character and personality, which is what she desperately needed.
I would pick Lyra to win, but I just see Becky retaining for some odd reason, and I still see a lot of friction. And if Becky's going to retain, I could see Lyra taking the pin. So that's who I'm picking, Becky to retain. So, and we also have this match. Nothing against Io, but we're having this again. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky for the Women's World Championship match. Can the genius of the Sky keep her undefeated streak alive against Mommy?
Hey, dog, if Rhea Ripley don't pick up the win here, she got to stop calling herself Mommy and saying Mommy's always on top. Because if I was Io, I'd just walk in the room every time and just go, oh, and then walk right back out and just hold my belt right in the face as I walk out. Io wins at another banger because Io needs this. Rhea doesn't. And once Rhea gets that world title, that women's division kind of comes to a halt and usually ends up in some dumb storyline. Plus Bianca Io when Bianca gets healthy. That's what I really need.
Yeah, I think we keep going back to this, and now they're trying to tie the backstory in it all the way back to the Mae Young Classic. I think it's done a disservice to Io that they are in this consistent orbit together. And Jacob's right. The money match that could happen at SummerSlam is Io versus Bianca, because Io pinned Bianca to win the title at WrestleMania. But I think Io picks up another win here, but it still won't be like definitive, or there'll be some type of distraction, like maybe Bianca comes out and watches the match, something like that. So we get that little one-on-one with Bianca and Rhea on her way to SummerSlam. But all in all, somehow, some way, Io retains, and this is just the kryptonite that Rhea can't get rid of.
Yeah, I do see Io retaining. I mean, I understand from a PR perspective and a branding perspective, they want to get all the heavy hitters for Evolution. Even Rhea Ripley, she's one of the top stars, and really having this backstory to hype up Evolution. I get it, but I would like to see Io retain and also really have her go up against Bianca at SummerSlam. I think that would be a really good match, and also really tie into the backstory Bianca and Io have. So that's who I'm taking, the genius of the Sky. So that's that. And we also have, I think we have two more matches after this. Jade versus Naomi. Who do you guys got in this match?
Naomi gets the win that she should have got at WrestleMania.
And I disagree. Jade picks up the win here. Is there not a stipulation on this? Isn't it Falls Count Anywhere or something for this one?
I can't recall.
I forgot. There's something. I forget what they called it though.
Let's see here. See if I can find it real quick. Where is it? But either way, I still have Jade winning only because it's no holds barred. There we go. So I got Jade winning only because Jade won Queen of the Ring. I see Jade dethroning Tiffany at SummerSlam only for Naomi to get the ultimate comeuppance and last laugh, that immediate cash in. Mm-hmm. So let's let Jade get all these wins now, build that momentum, and then A-Dot, back to the bottom. Work your way back to the top.
Yeah. I can't see Jade losing anytime soon, especially with the fact she won Queen of the Ring. And I really want Naomi to really continue being the crazed heel she is with that Money in the Bank, because it is starting to be a breath of fresh air for her. So I would pick Jade to win this match. I'm picking Jade. And then we have this match. JC Jane, the Juggernaut, for the NXT Women's Championship match.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. I mean, like, come on. It's that simple. Muscle mommy for the win. Keep this moving. Been fun, JC. We appreciate you. You earned this moment. But
Said?
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. JC Jane retains.
I would pick the Juggernaut for this, but I'm going to pick JC Jane for this because I kind of want to see the continued friction between her and Fallon Henley somewhere down the line. And as Boza mentioned, the winner meets Masha Slamovich at Slammiversary.
calling her Regina George is hilarious.
And this is the final match we have. The Battle Royal. Winner of this match gets a title shot at Clash in Paris. Who do you guys think will win the Battle Royal?
Love advice. Next question.
Jacob?
I'm not going to do this with him today. So, you know, I'm just going to say Stephanie Vakir and keep it moving. Not going there with him today.
Dylan, you said Nikki? Dylan, what's with you today? I am going to pick Stephanie Vakir to win. I'm picking Stephanie. I mean, there's many other ladies, but I'm picking Stephanie. And that wraps up all of our bold predictions. All of them. It was a lot of them, but we did it. I'm not sure if we're going to do a watch along for Evolution, but be on the lookout for socials throughout the weekend because, of course, there will be a social. There will be a watch along for some specific PLEs, but we'll be here. We're here to stay. And I know we have SmackDown happening right now with Honey Night SmackDown, so make sure to check it out. And this is a super stacked edition of WWT Live on a Friday. And Jacob, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at _JDella. You can find my writings and musings over at anscape.com, including my interview with Swerve Strickland discussing his... accidentally hit the printer button there on my printer. Discussing his Reebok collab of how we came with the Who's House, the Swerve edition of The Answer 3. So make sure y'all check that out. I'm sure somebody will retweet that from the socials, right? Somebody? Maybe? No? Okay. All right, cool. So, yeah. And, of course, my monthly and everything else. So, yeah, that's where you can find me.
Said, where can the people find you?
I don't want to be found, but if you see me around, give me a holler. There'll be some watch parties happening in the LA area this weekend. I know Baby Bros Pizza will be showing AEW All In, Evolution, all of the things pop up there in Long Beach. You might see me out there. There is a nice spot, my New York Sports Pizza out here in the IE that will be showing AEW All In. You might see me over there. Where I will accept your views, follows, and everything in between is the TikTok. Said is the answer on TikTok. That's where I'm posting all my content, interviews, and everything involving my journey in this wrestling and women's wrestling space. And as far as the Monday Nightmare watch along, I'll be here. You know, we'll be celebrating Goldberg and all that.
Well, the people can always find me chirping periodically on WWT. Wednesdays, you know I have Timeless Elite Wednesdays. And tomorrow I will be doing a watch along for All in Texas. You don't know who is going to show up for tomorrow's watch along because there is going to be a lot happening. I'm pretty sure I'll be doing reaction videos. I will also be posting my bold predictions ahead of tomorrow. of all in Texas, and it's going to be very, very fun. Also, please follow me on my socials at Courtney NJ11 because I do have content that is happening in the coming weeks. Please make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling because we got a lot of stuff, a lot of shows happening throughout the state of New Jersey. So definitely with your support. Want to thank everybody in the chat from Boza, Jeffrey, Cousin Ron, our producer from the future, Maria, of course, my WWT sister Honey was joining, and you can check her on Honey Night SmackDown. And feel free to follow all of our socials because it's going to be a jam-packed wrestling weekend. And feel free to follow us because we may be doing a few stream-alongs. But thank you again on joining on this super stacked card of women's wrestling talk. The number one women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great evening and enjoy all the wrestling content this weekend.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet.